Jennifer Barbosa would like to unseat Congressman Adam Schiff, and she's running for the 28th Congressional District. Jennifer, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you very much, Larry, for having me on. I love your show.
Well, tell our listeners a bit about you, why you would want to run for office, and he's kind of a very prominent name out there, but he is one of the local representatives. Explain your strategy and tell us about yourself.
Okay. Well, it's not my first time running for office. I was elected vice chair of my neighborhood council in Hollywood. I live in Hollywood, which is part of Adam Schiff's district. And I started here in politics because I saw this tremendous disconnect between what the politicians from the local level all the way up to the federal level, the policies that they were supporting, and the needs, the actual needs, and the desires of the residents living here. So that's what got me interested in politics. And, you know, year after year, we see Adam Schiff just get reelected almost by default because he's so well known. He's a Democrat in a Democrat district, and he has a lot of money. So about a year ago, I embarked on a new strategy to possibly unseat Mr. Schiff, and that's what brought me to this point.
So when you talk about Adam Schiff, he's kind of larger than life on TV doing all this impeachment stuff, but you're asking, what have you done for us locally lately, right?
Exactly. And that's the question that he asked constituents and voters when he first ran for this seat almost 20 years ago. As you and your listeners probably know, he unseated Republican Congressman James Rogan. And let me find the soundbite, actually. But the exact quote from Adam Schiff at that time to voters was, "The district simply has not been a priority for him," referring to Rogan. "He's been more engaged in national partisan ideological crusades than in issues important to the district." This is what Adam Schiff originally told voters in the year 2000. Now it seems as though Mr. Schiff has switched and become exactly what he said he would not become.
Kind of that the bright lights of Washington get you kind of thing.
Right.
Jennifer
Yes.
Barbosa, how do people find you? How can they learn about you? How can they decide what they vote and how they vote?
My website is barbosa2020.com, and I'm running as independent, which is actually a new strategy for this district. Normally you think Republican or Democrat, but we actually have twice as many independents as we do Republicans in this district. And I really think it's time to give the independent voters a voice and a choice.
All right. So talk a bit about you then. What would be kind of a priority for you?
Obviously, homelessness, number one priority. In my particular area of the district, Hollywood, we've seen a 75% increase in homelessness since Schiff became our congressman. He became our congressman, the Hollywood congressman, through redistricting. So that's a number one priority. And it's very interesting. Since the district was gerrymandered or redistricted, as they say, to give my neighborhood, my very liberal neighborhood, to Mr. Schiff, he's really been phoning it in as a representative. He has not presented any legislation that's become law. He got my neighborhood in around 2012. And at that point, he sold his house in Burbank, and it really seems as though he stopped thinking that he needs to work for re-election because he's not even talking about the homelessness, which is bizarre to me.
Yeah, sold his house. He should have kept it. It went up in value.
Well, he purchased a very expensive home in Potomac, Maryland, so maybe he needed the money for that. I don't know.
All right. So you're running as an independent. Your message then is what? Give us kind of the 30-second elevator speech. You've got all these voters out there. Go ahead.
Yes. People above partisanship. That is the message. That is something that everybody knows we need our representatives to focus on. We've had enough of this impeachment. Whether you're for or against the impeachment, he did not even succeed at that. And he's also not succeeding at representing the people of our district, particularly with the homelessness. We need to focus on the mental health and substance abuse issues that a lot of these people have, and stop looking at it as a housing crisis. It's not. A lot of these people could not sustain a home even if they were given a home. So we have to really dig down deep and see what the real causes of the homelessness are and address those from a congressional down to a local level.
And from the congressional level, what are some of the things you might do if you were in Congress to help.
Well, as you know, Congress's power is the power of the purse. So what Congress, the Democrat Congress, has proposed to address the homelessness is just build more housing. Just, propose more funding for more housing. That's fine. We can use some housing, but we actually have quite a few vacant units, and they're not proposing enough for, like I mentioned, the substance abuse and the mental health problems. So that's something that we need to get funding for.
All right.
To address those issues.
Final 20 seconds. Push that website.
Barbosa, Barbosa 2020.com. And, we have an 11-day election cycle now. So we really need everyone to get out and vote, whether you vote by mail or vote in person. And if you don't want to see Adam Schiff win in a landslide again, I really highly encourage people to vote independent, because then we can galvanize those 145,000 independent voters and the 70,000 Republican voters in our district.
With that, we're out of time. Jennifer Barbosa, running for Congress, 28th Congressional District, Adam Schiff's district. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Take care now. Bye-bye.